Typhoon Waifa destroys homes and disrupts travel in China and the Philippines. China and the Philippines are facing widespread devastation after Typhoon Waifa swept through the region, bringing torrential rains, strong winds and severe flooding, disrupting travel and forcing tens of thousands to flee their homes. Typhoon Waifa destroyed homes and disrupted travel in China and the Philippines. A man uses a homemade buoy to wade through floodwaters during heavy rains in a residential area after Typhoon Waifa brought heavy monsoon rains in Quezon City, Philippines, on September 22nd, as the typhoon made landfall in China's Guangdong province. After days of heavy monsoon rains in the Philippines, flights were cancelled, roads were flooded, and entire communities were evacuated. According to Travel and Tour World, the severe impact of Typhoon Waifa has paralyzed transportation in the region and forced both countries to deploy emergency response operations, marking one of the most devastating weather events in recent months. Transport disruption, mass evacuations. Typhoon Waifa made landfall on the southern coast of China in Guangdong province on the evening of July 20th, causing widespread disruption. The storm has affected air traffic, public transportation and residential areas in the area, forcing authorities to issue the highest level weather warning and deploy emergency measures across the region. According to official weather data, the storm's wind speeds reached 30 meters per second during its peak. Shortly after making landfall, the storm weakened into a severe tropical storm, but continued to cause damage across the region. Just hours before making landfall, Typhoon Waifa has severely impacted Hong Kong, China. Heavy rain and strong winds have affected most of the city, especially the northern districts closer to the mainland. The Hong Kong Observatory, China, has issued a warning for heavy rain and strong winds, noting that the weather system is likely to continue affecting the area for the next several hours. In North Point, a district along the northern coast of Hong Kong, China, strong winds caused most of the construction scaffolding of a residential building to collapse. Debris fell onto nearby roads, blocking lanes and requiring emergency response teams to clear the affected areas. Flight delays and cancellations operations at Hong Kong International Airport, China, were also widely delayed and cancelled during the typhoon's landfall. About 500 flights were cancelled, while another 400 flights were rescheduled or delayed. Nearly 80,000 passengers were affected during the day. Airlines operating in and out of Hong Kong, China, were quick to waive ticket change fees and start rebooking procedures for affected passengers. Notably, Cathay Pacific, a major international airline based in Hong Kong, suspended all scheduled flights from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. from 20th of July. These measures were taken to ensure safety until the typhoon passes through the area. In addition, most other forms of public transport, including ferry services, were suspended due to rough seas and safety concerns. The authorities of Guangdong and Hainan provinces, China, have issued high alert as Typhoon Waifa moves inland. Several major cities in southern China, including Shenzhen, Zhuhai, and Macau, have suffered widespread flight cancellations and delays. Airlines and airport operators have announced the suspension of all daytime flights on July 20th in response to the severe weather conditions. Emergency response teams are also on standby to deal with the risk of flooding, falling debris and infrastructure damage. The effects of Typhoon Waifa have also spread beyond China. In the Philippines, the storm has intensified the southwest monsoon, causing heavy rains that have lasted for several days. According to the Philippines Disaster Management Agency, 2 people have been reported missing due to flooding and related incidents. More than 770,000 people in the Philippines have been affected by the prolonged adverse weather conditions. Of these, more than 43,000 people have been forced to leave their homes and relocate to temporary shelters or relatives' homes. Floodwaters have submerged low-lying residential areas, while landslides have been reported in mountainous areas. Rescue and relief operations have been launched in the affected areas, focusing on evacuation, shelter, food distribution, and medical assistance. Emergency services remain on alert to respond to further developments, especially in areas at risk of further landslides or flooding. Across the affected territories, local meteorological agencies continue to monitor the progress of Typhoon Waifa Although weakened after making landfall, the typhoon remains a threat due to persistent heavy rains and gusty winds.
Balay na may taytaya. Oh, may tayam na rin. Eh, magkabon na rin. Oh, pigsa banggit ko yun naman. Tumabing ka dyan. Oh.
ਸਵਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇਧਰੋਂ ਵੀ ਟੁੱਟ ਜਾਣਾ ਉਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਟੁੱਟਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ